Welcome back to Limitless Mentality, where we discuss profound psychological truths to help you improve your life. Today we're diving into a topic that's hard to admit, but incredibly important: why you're not thinking clearly and what's secretly messing with your mind every day. Most of us like to believe we're rational, but there are hidden mental traps that cloud our judgment, distort reality, and lead us into decisions we later regret. We love to think our thoughts control our feelings, but more often, it's the other way around. When you're angry, anxious, or even just tired, your brain starts filtering reality through that emotion. You'll read a neutral message as hostile. You'll assume someone's ignoring you when they're just busy. It's like putting on sunglasses with a tint. You don't notice the distortion, but everything you see is colored by it. This doesn't mean emotions are bad. They're actually useful signals. But when you let them lead without checking the facts, they hijack your clarity. Next time you feel reactive or stuck in your head, pause. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now, and how might it be distorting the way I'm thinking? Your brain is constantly trying to save energy. It doesn't want to analyze every detail or consider every possibility. So it takes mental shortcuts, also known as cognitive biases. Confirmation bias is one of the most powerful. You'll naturally seek out information that supports what you already believe and ignore everything that challenges it. It feels safer and easier. But it also traps you in outdated or false beliefs. The real danger is that these shortcuts feel like clear thinking. They feel intuitive. But clear thinking often means questioning what feels obvious. That's where real clarity begins. You might not think of your phone as an addiction, but that constant need to check, scroll, and swipe is pulling your brain in 100 directions every hour. And that fragmentation destroys your ability to think clearly. Deep thought needs space. It needs boredom, silence, and focus. But most of us are so overstimulated that we can't even sit still with a thought for more than 30 seconds. The result? You feel mentally foggy. You second-guess yourself. You avoid complex problems because your brain isn't getting the time it needs to process them. If you want clarity, start by reclaiming your attention. There's a huge difference between thinking about something and thinking through it. Worry is circular. It loops the same fears over and over without getting anywhere. Clear thinking is linear. It moves from problem to possible solutions. But when you're stuck in worry mode, it feels like you're doing something useful. You're not. You're just exhausting yourself. Recognizing when you're stuck in a worry loop is key. Ask yourself, am I actually solving anything right now, or just imagining worst-case scenarios? That one question can snap you out of the fog and into real problem-solving. When you're emotionally invested in a situation, it's nearly impossible to see it objectively. Think about how easily you can give your friends good advice, even when they're in chaos. But when it's your own life, you spiral. That's not a character flaw. It's human. Your perspective is warped when your ego, identity, or emotions are wrapped up in the outcome. That's why talking to someone else, or even journaling, can help. It forces you to step outside the problem and look at it like an outsider would. And that's when clarity starts to return. So many of our thoughts don't even come from us. They come from parents, teachers, culture, or people we admired growing up. And over time, we absorb their beliefs like they're our own. That voice in your head that says, "You're not good enough," or "You shouldn't even try," that might not even be yours. It could be an echo of someone else's judgment. When you don't examine where your thoughts are coming from, you start building a life based on someone else's fears. Clear thinking means getting honest about which thoughts serve you and which ones are just noise. Sometimes, the reason we're not thinking clearly is simple. We don't want to face the truth. You might know deep down that a relationship isn't healthy, that your job is draining you, or that your habits are holding you back. But facing that truth means change. It means discomfort. So your mind protects you by rationalizing, minimizing, or distracting you. That protection might feel like relief in the moment, but long-term, it only deepens the confusion. Clarity starts the moment you stop lying to yourself, even if that truth hurts. Fear makes your thinking rigid. It closes doors before you've even looked through them. When you make decisions from fear of failure, rejection, or being wrong, you end up choosing the safest path, not the wisest one. Clear thinking requires curiosity. It means wondering, what else could be true? Or, what if I'm wrong? Fear shuts down those questions, but curiosity opens them. And the more curious you become, the clearer your mind gets. Because now, you're exploring possibilities instead of running from outcomes. One of the sneakiest blocks to clear thinking is when your beliefs become part of your identity. If you see yourself as the smart one or the logical one, then admitting you were wrong feels like a threat to your whole self-image. But the truth is, clear thinkers want to be proven wrong. They're not afraid to update their opinions because they don't tie their worth to being right. The more flexible your identity is, the easier it is to think clearly, because now you're prioritizing truth over ego. We talk about thinking clearly, like it's all in your head, but your body plays a massive role. If you're sleep-deprived, dehydrated, undernourished, or anxious, your brain function drops, and no amount of mental effort can make up for that. Sometimes what feels like brain fog is just your body begging for rest. Sometimes you can't make a decision because your nervous system is in survival mode. Clear thinking starts with regulation, taking care of your physical state so your mind has the foundation it needs to actually work well. Thinking clearly isn't just about being smart. It's about being honest, aware, and willing to look beneath the surface. Your mind is powerful, but it's also easily influenced by emotion, fear, habit, and identity. The more you understand what clouds your clarity, the better equipped you are to clear the fog and see things as they really are. And in that clarity, you'll find the confidence and peace you've been looking for. Which of these mental traps do you recognize in your own life? And what's one shift you could make this week to think more clearly? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more eye-opening insights. Until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and stay limitless.